Trigger warning, you are now watching Wrestle AM, coming to you courtesy of Kocosports.com. Of course, I am the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. Boom, boom, here shaking the room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, join me there way across the pond, the man who works harder than a Pensacola stripper, none other than LK. What's up, buddy?
Oh, I'm living the dream. How are you?
Yeah, about the same. About the same. Another day, another 50 cents, right?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, but I you know what? I actually kind of enjoyed tonight's edition of SmackDown Live. I actually did, and we know we always have a win, loss, or tie situation going on. Internet Ventura will get to your comments later on the show. And I apologise everyone who watched the MMA show. We didn't get to live comments at the end. It's just we went nearly an hour, and I was 20 minutes into SmackDown missed already. So I didn't want to get too far into SmackDown without watching it. So apologies there. We'll get to the live comments on this show because I know we always get to them, so I apologise.
Mm-hmm.
But I give this show a win. I enjoyed it. It done its job, which got me quite excited for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. There was 2 good matches on there. There was some good promos on there. I actually gave SmackDown a win. What do you give it?
I'm going to give it a tie. It was just there's some just glaring problems with SmackDown. Now some of it's not their fault, but some of it is. I think what their biggest problem is the fact that they have such a limited roster to work with. It's really like taking the same 4 guys, shifting them around, amongst in those combination of those 4, shifting them around into different feuds. They limit the number of matches they air on television. They drag out promos. They drag out vignettes. And I think it's kind of hurting the overall product. I mean, it's still a good show. It's still an entertaining show. I just think it could be better, and I'm hoping after WrestleMania they'll go ahead and declare another draft lottery. I know you typically want to wait like a year, but I think with the way things are going on both shows, Raw and SmackDown, I really think it'd be beneficial to both brands to go ahead and do what you could do is you could go ahead and do your spring cleaning, because it's usually after WrestleMania is when they start letting people go. And then also you could declare a draft lottery, and that way you can mix up things, and I think you could really help balance out SmackDown.
That's fair. I mean, I think I said they should do it the night after Mania, but I reckon we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on Wrestling, that maybe it will actually be the week after. So the Monday Night Raw after the night after WrestleMania.
That's what I would do, because that would be my hook to get people to come back. Because I mean, you have Mania, and everybody's going to watch that regardless. Even people who are even casual WWE fans, people who are casual wrestling fans, people who maybe just check it out once a year for the spectacle, they'll watch Mania, and then you always follow it up the Raw after Mania, because you want to see kind of what tone they're setting for the new. Well, for WWE, it's the fiscal year, so what new tone are they setting for the rest of the year? Who's going to debut? Who's going to make their big entrance? What's going to happen? And I think what would really get those people to stick around for at least another week. Go, okay, well next week we're going to do a draft lottery, so it's kind of like a reset. And it feels like those people who just got on board, they don't feel like they have to catch up to anything. They'll be starting new storylines, new everything, so they'll start from ground zero, and they will be able to follow it for the rest of the year without any trouble worrying about who's feuding with who's face, who's heel, who's doing what. You'll be able to explain all that.
Yeah, I wish they do that. They might do, but I reckon they're always going to do it in that dull period in between Mania and SummerSlam.
I need to go when you're done.
Mm-hmm. So, but you ready to break this bad boy down?
Why the hell not?
Okay, they're doing they start off with a little video feature. They're hyping up Randy Orton versus John Cena, coming up a little bit. Then they go out to and the reason I'm so late here, kind of coming on, is because I was actually doing guest commentary. I don't know if anybody saw me on SmackDown Live, but if you look carefully, I'm on the other side of Tom Phillips. And I was able to interject in some of the matches. I was able to be like, yes, no. Well, okay, but because JBL and Mauro Ranallo and David Otunga is just And I'm just over there, me and Tom Phillips, we're sitting there just like, we're like, well, we can't. So we just start texting each other back and forth. And let me tell you something. Tom Phillips is a joker, man. He tells some great jokes. I mean, he's a character, man. So as soon as I was done with the show, I had to rush back here to Virginia, change clothes, jump in the chair, and ready to go. But yeah, that 5-man commentary team, it's tough. It's tough.
Dude, you know what Tom Phillips is there? He's the host. Like, he'll be the person who says, up next, it will be tonight on SmackDown. He'll do the interview with Natalia and Nikki Bella. That's his job. He's not a commentator. He's the host. I pray they don't do that on Monday Night Raw as well. But considering how many screen captures that Monday Night Raw have, I think they could do with a Tom Phillips there instead of hearing Michael Cole's voice all the time. But they obviously don't trust Mauro Ranallo doing that. They obviously think he doesn't do a good enough job of selling you the matches for some really fucking strange reason. So they want to pay someone else. Silly.
All right, so then they start off with Daniel Bryan. By the way, I should mention that they were in Seattle, Washington, which is not too far away from Daniel Bryan's hometown of Aberdeen. So he's there. I mean, he gets the huge, heroes welcome. He talks about, the last time he was there, it's when he had to make his retirement announcement. And he's like, but, it's been a year. It's been a long time coming back. And you know what? And then he made the announcement that he's going to be a father. Got the biggest pop of the night, in my opinion. Yes, his wife, Brie, is pregnant. They're going to have a little girl. So congratulations to him. Out came The Miz and Maurice. He started laying into him, goes, you can't wrestle anymore. You shouldn't even be in a WWE ring. Daniel Bryan had a good comeback. Said, to be fair, not being able to wrestle never stopped you from getting in the ring. That got a big pop. Miz jabs at the fans a little bit. Then out comes Baron Corbin, because, of course, they're hyping up the Elimination Chamber coming up in a few weeks. And then Miz, tries to strike up a deal with Corbin. Corbin's, not buying it. Then out comes Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose says he can't take the Miz anything seriously with what he's wearing. Eventually, AJ Styles comes out. He goes, well, suddenly we live in a world where the facts don't matter. He talked about how at one point or another, he has beaten all three of those other competitors. And finally, Miz said, Daniel Bryan makes a fatal 4-way match, and that match is going to start right now. So they ring the bell. I thought it was a decent way to set it up. I always kind of find, and that's another thing. I always find when WWE, when you have like these big multi-man matches, like if it's the Royal Rumble coming up, they always find some kind of excuse to get everybody in the ring and brawling. When it's ever like a multi-man match, they find some kind of, either they do like take like the bad guys and put them against the good guys, or you take the two people who you don't think can get along and you put them together, or in this case, you take 4 of the 6 guys. Now, Randy Orton, I can understand why. Bray Wyatt, I guess it would make sense to have a fatal 5-way, but you always got to have them in some kind of match. To me, it gets a little hokey, but it's just, well, not hokey, but just it's too much formula. It's too much of a formula that they're using, that the WWE always goes back to. It's almost like clockwork. You can almost predict it. It's the same situations. They just change out the people. But the match itself actually was not bad. I really liked what I like about the Fatal 4-Way matches. There's reasons to break up pins. I love the series where they were rolling each other up. They had where it was Ambrose, Styles, and Miz. They kept rolling each other up. It was some kind of one of the three. Like one would pin one, but the other one come up behind and roll him up, and then the guy who just was getting pinned would get back up and try to schoolboy the other one. It was nice. It was going back and forth. Eventually, Miz broke up a pin. Styles hit a phenomenal form, looked like he was about to win. Maurice pulled Miz out of the ring, but Corbin hit AJ Styles with the end of days, so he gets the win. I think it was a great opening contest. It kind of got me hyped. I still don't like Baron Corbin, and you know what? I'm gonna play this game with you here. 2 things. These are gonna be facts or fictions. So first question, fact or fiction to you, LK. Fact or fiction, AJ Styles would become a babyface sooner rather than later.
I mean, I guess so. I would be shocked if he doesn't. I'll be very shocked if he doesn't. It's just how they do it and when they do it. That's the worrying thing. I hope they do. They probably will. I mean, I was just shocked that they gave Corbin the win. Like, I know they're high on Corbin, but geez, they gave him the win here. And now,
what some
this
people,
probably does.
Well, some speculation is they gave it to Corbin because I think it's a safe bet to say that they're not going to put the championship on him. So if they're not going to do that, why not just go ahead and give him a little nod right now and go ahead and get him a win, a clean win in a fatal 4-way match on SmackDown? Why not?
I mean, with the Elimination Chamber this Sunday, while this is I'll put preview in the title as well because Gavin will be talking a lot about the Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
But do you see, out of like the percentage, because this is the match here where it involves the chamber participants, do you see what percentage-wise and what's your prediction for who walks out Sunday as WWE champion?
Well, if you read the dirt sheets, I would say you got about a 75% chance that Bray Wyatt walks out with the championship. And then you just take that other 25% and divide that among the remaining 5 competitors. Because who knows? Things could change. They could, maybe they'd want to stick with, Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Or not AJ Styles. Ooh, actually, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I meant Randy Orton versus John Cena. Maybe they'd want to stick with that. But this actually leads me to my next Factor Fiction. Factor Fiction, assuming he's not drafted over to Raw, Miz will become the WWE champion.
No, I don't see it. I do not. I don't see it. I think fiction. As much as I want him to, I think there's zero. Well, not zero chance. Everyone has a chance.
Yeah. Hey, if James Ellsworth proved anything, it's any man with 2 hands that's got a fighting chance.
Jobber James the Raccoon can fucking come here and suck my dick. I don't even want him to come near my house. I wouldn't welcome him. But that was a good plus side. He wasn't on this show, that fucking imbecile. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe he could, but people just don't take him seriously, and he never wins. Like, he wins, he loses. He wins, he loses. He wins, he loses. Like, unless you got a good baby face, I just don't see. I love them. Like, I think he's really good as a heel. I just don't see him being champion.
Under normal circumstances, I could completely see your argument, but this is SmackDown we're talking about. If you look at the SmackDown roster, who are the big names? You've got AJ Styles, you got Dean Ambrose, The Miz, you've got, I would argue, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, John Cena, so that's 6. That is 6 people. That's really 6 people, and how much, and with the way they're going right now, they're going to get to a point where I really feel like they're just going to have to put, they're going to, out of a combination of those 6, you're going to have to eventually put the championship on The Miz at some point, because I don't think anybody else outside of those 6 really has any credibility, or at least it wouldn't be believable if they won the championship.
Yeah, I can see that. But I just don't see him. I could picture another few IC title reigns. I just don't see Miz ever being WWE champion. And while we're talking about predictions, I pray we get AJ versus, if you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, you get Randy. Or like, I'm on my knees begging Vince. I've got my mouth open. Insert your cock, please. I really badly want to.
Middle image.
Or Orton wins the title at Mania from Bray, and then they could do Orton versus AJ whenever, wherever. If it's at a house show in fucking North Carolina, I'll fucking get in the fucking Kocosports UK headquarters. I'll get the fucking airplane out. I'll get it out. I'll fucking jump in and I'll fucking fly myself over there. And if they could do AJ versus Orton in a rematch at WWE SmackDown Live when it's in O2 in London, which is like 4 weeks after Mania, I will literally pre-cum in my pants if I'm there live and my main event is Orton versus AJ Styles.
Nice.
Legit cum my pants. But it won't. But that makes me sad.
Andy Paps over here in the chat room. By the way, thanks everybody for joining us live here. Andy Paps, Bebe, Kevin, Eric, Snell, everybody else watching us live. We do appreciate that. He actually brings up something I think would actually be a good booking decision. He says Cena needs to be the first one eliminated. I agree.
Yeah, because then the commentators can scream, "Oh my God, we're guaranteed a new WWE champion. We are guaranteed. What a shocker tonight!"
Exactly. Then it throws everything into chaos in the elimination chamber because you're guaranteed a new champion. It makes it feel like it's anybody's ball game, and I think that would only add to the drama. So, Andy, I think that's a great idea. Will they actually do it? I don't know.
I hope so. I really do hope so. And here's a little thing for the internet infantry to do. While we're live, share this on your social media. Say, I am watching Kocosports.net's SmackDown Live review. Share. How about that? Could be your mini task. Get sharing. We're a community. We help each other out. Let's get sharing and posting on the social media. Well, we're at backstage with Harper, aren't we?
I actually kind of like that little backstage segment he did. He talked about, he called him a snake in the grass for too long, and he knows how to fix it. He says, cut off the head of the viper. That's too easy. I want you to be in pain. At Elimination Chamber, I'm going to eliminate you. Oh, man, I actually like that. I actually liked hearing Luke Harper actually talk for once. Here's another thing. Do you think Luke Harper has just kind of been sandbagged by this whole, with the Wyatt family gimmick?
No,
because he's always he's always going to be known as like the Wyatt family guy. Yeah, he got an Intercontinental Championship run. I know people are going to bring that up, but honestly, how long did that Intercontinental Championship run last? Like 3 weeks? It was less than 6 weeks. I know that. It was not long at all. And I'm not saying they should do this now, but I wouldn't rule it out. I think Luke Harper, if you repackaged him, like, you took him off TV and then you brought him back as a different person, I honestly think he could make a run for the championship. I don't know if they would actually put the championship on him, but I think if they repackaged him, he could become a different character. He wouldn't be weighed down as just one of the lackeys for the Wyatt family. He could be his own man and at least make a believable run towards the championship.
I agree. I generally really agree, because if you consider this, like Braun Strowman did that. He kind of, he took his character from the Wyatt family, but kind of changed it a bit differently, and now he's just a monster on Raw, and he's, against Roman Reigns at the next Raw pay-per-view, whatever the fuck that's called. We'll call Elimination Chamber No Way Out, and the Raw one can be, what can the Raw one be? St. Valentine's Day Massacre, okay, because we don't like calling them these stupid pay-per-view names. So we're going to go old school. So Elimination Chamber this Sunday's No Way Out. With that in mind, back to the original point with Harper, he could lose to Orton and then kind of disappear for a while and then come back. Orton as champion, Harper saying, look, you took me out, you son of a bitch. I'm going to get my hands on you whether you like it or not. And then you got a program down the line that you can go Orton and Harper to. But they could change him altogether, different name. I like the name Luke Harper. I think they should stick to Luke Harper, but change his gimmick so he's not a Wyatt family lackey. Like Braun Strowman is not a Wyatt family lackey anymore. He's his own man. Even though he hasn't changed his gear or anything, Harper needs to be the same. But I reckon change gear for Harper.
Mm-hmm. That could absolutely be something there. Then afterwards, they did a Tom Phillips. He interviewed both Natalya and Nikki Bella. They were both in different, areas. It was like split screen because you had one in one studio, one in another. And to be honest, I really didn't pay attention to this. I changed the channel because this feud. I do appreciate the fact that Natty is doing her best to be a bad guy, but one, I find her too damn likable. And just two, this whole feud has just been petty, and I cannot wait for this feud to end. I know that it's supposed to be petty. That's the whole point. It's a petty feud. It's jealousy, but I'm just like, I just don't care. I just think it's childish.
With that in mind, with you not enjoying this, I loved every millisecond of it. I loved the way it was shot, of the way it was produced. Tom Phillips actually did something for the night. He actually deserved his paycheck. I loved how Nikki says, like, Natalya's dead to her. Natalya going on to say there's no amount of makeup that can cover up how bad I'm going to batter you. And then bringing up Nikki, not being able to have kids, and talking about how if Natalya wasn't married, she wouldn't ever be with John because Natalya would have her. I think it was so personal. It felt legit. It felt like a mixed martial arts press conference, and they're there and they're just chatting shit more, jab, jab. really loved this. This was good promotion. This made me want to see, even though I think she's a whore, I want to see Nikki Bella beat the shit out of Natalya. It's good, simple storytelling. And I'll be very annoyed if Nikki Bella doesn't get the win. And that's coming from a guy who thinks Nikki Bella is nothing more than a whore. But storytelling 101, the babyface must get the receipt. She should get the win. And I think it'll be exciting. I actually think they need to add a stipulation because this is the feud ender. Maybe make it no DQ, but I generally am quite excited for it.
Yeah. Oh, and I should mention that Dirt Sheets are reporting. I don't know if we've got this up on Kocosports.com just yet, but reports are going around that Nikki Bella is scheduled to be taking some time away from the ring after WrestleMania. Her contract is coming up, but but according to Pro Wrestling Sheets, she's going to agree to extension. She's going to stay with WWE, but she just won't be in the ring.
Yes.
She's been complaining of, remember she just had neck surgery, and a lot of people thought her career might have been over right then and there, but she's been trying to working through the pain, and she's even complained about sometimes she'll have numbness on one side of her body, and she's hoping that maybe if she takes some time off, this problem will fix itself. And and I hope this is a feud ender, and we don't have, and hopefully she gets better. But here's another thing. I think it's kind of weird. Daniel Bryan, he takes, concussions, but he's passed. He's cleared. He's ready to go. And they make him retire. But Nikki Bella has serious neck surgery. They've actually got her in the ring working, and now she's complaining of numbness on one side from time to time, but yet they still have her in the ring.
Maybe she just gives Vince blowjobs really well, and he wants them. Who knows? I don't even give a shit. Like, it's at the point where, if Nikki Bella retires this may sound cynical, but I don't give a... If she retires right now, I'd be like, okay, that's wow, what a great career she had. She sucked someone's cock. She destroyed kayfabe with reality television. Oh, what a great job she did. Oh, great women's... when I have a child, and if it's a girl, and she goes, Daddy, who should I be like? I'll put a picture up on my dartboard of Nikki Bella. I'll say, look, here's a dart. Throw it out and say, anyone but her. Anyone. Sucking Cena's cock, sucking Vince's cock. Oh, what a coincidence. She's now getting married, or if she's not, to the face of the company. And now she's fucking multi-time Divas champ, involved in feuds with Stephanie McMahon, and always in an angle no matter what. It's bullshit. It's political. She sucked her way to the top. Fair play. She knows how to use her strength. We always talk about on Kocosports.net, strengths and weaknesses. Her weaknesses, she's a shitty wrestler. Her strengths, she can suck cock very well. Proof in the pudding. Look at her spot on the card. Silly. We'll move on.
Yeah, I just kind of hate the whole thing of, oh, John's never going to marry. John's never going to marry. Guys, ladies, boys and girls, let me just tell you something from someone who's been there. One, if you're dating somebody and you know that you're not going to marry them, just don't be with them because you're wasting your fucking time. And two, don't ever feel like you need to be pressured. If you feel like you're pressured into marrying someone, something's fucking wrong. Something is seriously fucking wrong.
It's true. You should want to marry. How bad is it? Cena coming on international television in front of the world and going, "I don't want to marry her." What a dick! What a dick! That's hilarious. Big Match John putting another one out of the hat, just being a complete arsehole, and that makes me chuckle. I recapped a Total Divas episode when I was sick. I was very sick and I couldn't do anything. I was so bored. It was on TV, and I recapped one. It was fucking hysterical. Rusev was coming on, and the story of the show was Rusev and Lana were gonna get married, and Lana wanted a beach wedding. Rusev's like, no, we have Bulgaria wedding, in character kind of, and then the next segment he's not in character, and it's just some of the wildest, wackiest shit of all time. It's actually quite funny. Yeah, where were we?
Ready to move on?
Ziggler match. Yeah,
Ziggler match. Okay, dude, this fucking sucked. Let me tell you why. Because I literally looked down for a second, and the match was over. I don't know what I was doing. I was watching TV. I think I dropped something. I went down to pick it up, and I looked up and 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? It was I don't even know if that match lasted 60 seconds. But from when I saw Ziggler, he was about to hit a super kick. He was going for a super kick early, but Apollo Crews, rolled him up. got the 1-2-3. Ziggler attacked Cruz afterwards. He got a chair. He hit Apollo Crews. The crowd popped, which is not what you want to have happen. Kalisto came out to make the save. He got crotched on the top rope, which, by the way, that was painful because he was getting crotched. He was going for like the Salida del Sol, excuse me. And then Miz blocked it, crotched him on the top rope. Kalisto would have fallen completely off, but it's like he stopped, pulled himself back up into an awkward position so that way he could get set up and get hit by Ziggler. Ziggler took a chair to him, then back to Cruz and walked off. There's just so much wrong with this because, one, I thought the heel turn would actually get Ziggler some wins and get him some credibility. Two, Apollo Crews, he desperately needs wins, but not like this. And two, Cruz and Kalisto, it's like the crowd is like, all right, there you go. And when the crowd is chanting for Ziggler, one more time, hitting them with chairs, you're doing something incredibly wrong. I really feel like SmackDown has done a very big disservice, especially to Apollo Crews. I made this argument till I'm blue in the face, and I'm going to fucking say it again. He was called up way too soon. And then two, Kalisto, people have got no connection to him. If you really want to have, I know he came back from an injury, but if you really want people to be connected to him, I mean, you're going to have to, sit these guys down, him, and you have to sit Cruz down, and you're going to have to open up. I mean, you're going to have to tell us why should we cheer for these guys. Give us more about these guys. What makes them tick? Outside of the introduction packages that you gave us on them. I mean, give me a reason to cheer for these guys because right now it's Masked Man and guy who smiles a lot takes on Dolph Ziggler who loses a lot.
Pretty much. That's why Morilano wasn't allowed to call it because he called it as he saw it. Yeah, Jesus Christ. It was what it was. Kalisto tried to make the save, chair shot from Ziggler. It was okay. It set up the 2-on-1 handicap match of the pay-per-view, which if Kalisto and Apollo Crews can't beat Ziggler combined, you may as well just go to your nation. Crews, go back to being your nation in the Indies, and Kalisto, go back to fucking sweeping the floor. Or no, that's not fair. He was already good I saw a few of his matches in PWG, but he should just get a 205. The fact he's not on 205 Live is actually a joke. It's just proof that, how can you have some cruiserweights in the 205 Live roster and then half of them are not? Why can't he just go on 205 Live? Literally, have him lose, have him take the fall to Ziggler, and then fuck off to 205 Live. Jesus. He will be drafted to Monday Night Raw. There should be a trade. There should be a trade from Monday Night Raw to SmackDown. You should trade Cesaro for Kalisto. Sorted. Obviously, once Cesaro and Sheamus rivalry's finished. But I just cannot stand Kalisto being in normal wrestling matches against big men. Because then what's the point of having a cruiserweight division if your cruiserweight is going to fight big men? That's the failure in what it was before. I can't stand it. He's a really great wrestler. He's a great wrestler, but he's same as Apollo Crews. What's his gimmick? He smiles. This is not a gimmick. He has no character. Oh, Jesus, I fucking balls need to drop. He has no character. He has no character at all, and he's I think he used to be great and evolved. In NXT, he was meh. Here, he's boring as fuck. He's boring. When I see Apollo Crews, I groan, and that's not what I want to feel. I want to feel excited. I want my dick to get hard when I see Apollo. Well, not literally. You get what I'm saying because he's that great in ring. Because he is great in the ring, but he's just held back. Dude, go out there. I would have loved Cruz Ziggler. Give it 15 minutes, and him just go out there and just ball bust it and have an absolutely incredible match. But it didn't. It was crap. And we'll skip.
Mm-hmm. All right, next thing we started the second hour with a not one, but two, a dual contract signing because you know how much we love those contract signings. We love them so much, and you know what? Not only do we get one, we got two. And when I found out we were having two, that's when my wife said, "Hey, boom, boom, the Moonshiners is coming on. Do you want to watch that?" And I'm like, "Well, I could watch Moonshiners." Or I could watch two contract signings. I don't know. It's a tough one here. I get to see Mickie James and Alexa Bliss come out there, but they're going to get confronted by Naomi and Becky Lynch for their matches in Elimination Chamber. I don't know. I got that. But on the other hand, I know Mark and Jeff are trying to perfect that absence shine. And I know Big Chuck and Josh had a blow up. They're trying to get that trough done so they can get their still site winterized. I don't know. I'm watching Moonshiner, so I have no idea what happened here because I
do you want me to break it down?
Yes, please.
Ah, Jesus. So we had the dual contract, the Bliss, right? So basically, each of them had a promo time. So James says, she's pissed off how Lynch is, trying to erase all of James' history. Lynch then says she lost the respect for Mickie James because she aligned with the little troll Alexa Bliss, which she said. Bliss says as long as she's champ, she is, the leader of the division. And Naomi cuts a really cringy promo saying that she's going to, main event WrestleMania as women's champion, and then it was like fuck off. And then all four sign. Naomi kicked to the head, which was a really nice kick. She got it over the desk. It was a really nice kick. James and Lynch brawl. Naomi then does a dive over the top to the floor. Bliss and James run away looking like pussies. That was it. We no longer do. We no longer do.
I can't believe I missed that. I mean, come on. I was watching Patty and David. I mean, they were going to make some pear brandy, but the pear tree that Patty had out behind her house, all the pears rotted on it. So they had to ride around until they found a pear tree, and they had to call the owner to say, "Hey, can we pick some pears?" Because they really had to make that pear brandy. I mean, God, I was watching that, and I could have been watching. I could have been watching a dual contract signing.
Boom! You're a silly man. You're a poor man for not watching this. I feel sorry for you. I recommend you to go on WWE's YouTube channel right now and watch this. It was
you
fucking.
Don't understand. Somebody almost rolled up on their still site, and then now Mark's talking about leaving Lance and Jeff. I mean, come on.
Oh, dude, you're giving spoilers out for that show live on air. You fool! You fool! We're gonna get kicked off. We're gonna get disliked like a bitch. Giving live spoilers. I haven't watched that show yet. It's coming to the UK soon. But no, it wasn't that bad. So to be fair to it, it wasn't that bad. Like, out of all the contract signings that have took place, it wasn't the worst. And I'm actually looking forward to Naomi versus Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch versus Mickie James at the Chamber. I'm actually quite excited for the Chamber pay-per-view. I think it's going to be a really good pay-per-view. I'm actually quite excited for it.
All right, and then we get to some tag team action here. We have Heath Slater and Rhino versus it's Heath Slater and Rhino teaming up with American Alpha and Breezango to take on the Vaudevillains, the Usos, and the Ascension.
Dude, you'll never have guessed who actually got the fall in this. It's going to shock you when you scroll down and read. And one thing I didn't like about this is there was a heel in Breezango teaming up with faces Slater and Rhino and American Alpha. That pissed me off from the get-go, but that's not their fault. Victor got the win with a knee off the top from the Ascension. The Ascension won a 12-man tag clean in the middle of the ring. And I thought SmackDown Live couldn't get any more unpredictable.
You know what dude, you know what that needs to be breaking news right now on Kocosports.com. We need to type the article up, go breaking news, Ascension wins a match, mark this date down in history, February 7th, in the year of our Lord 2017 AD, the Ascension actually won a match live on WWE television. I mean, this is breaking news.
You know what this means? This is setting up the tag team turmoil at the Chamber pay-per-view, which will be my piss break. It will be my piss break, sponsored piss break. But I guarantee the Ascension will be the first one eliminated now. There's no way they won't be the first ones eliminated. They gotta be. It's like, we'll give you the win, but just to let you know, you guys are going to be the first ones dumped out, you jobbers. Like, I actually kind of like the Ascension. I have nothing against the Ascension. I think they were decent in NXT. They just been treated like shit on the main roster, as per usual.
And then here's another thing, like American Alpha is like fucking awesome. And it's like when they came in, I mean, they were white hot from NXT. They brought them in. I mean, and then WWE was like, no, we don't want to put the belts on them too quick. We got to build them up just a little bit here. We got to introduce them to the mainstream audience. And to be honest, us, we're American Alpha fans. We're like, okay. We can believe that. We don't want to rush it. I understand you want to get everybody else on board. We want everybody to know how awesome, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan are. So we rolled with it, and then nothing happened. In fact, they did almost next to nothing for the rest of 2016, except for the very last show of the year when they won the tag team titles, and it was, the Wyatt family fell apart. No, you're supposed to pay attention to American Alpha. Yeah, but the Wyatt family fell apart, and they lost their championships. And then now they're the tag team champions They've got 6 teams here, and nobody's got anything going on. Nobody's doing anything. And finally, somebody goes, "Hey, those tag teams we got? Maybe we should do something with them." I mean, hell, we've got the WWE champion and the Intercontinental champion in the same match. Ooh, God. Okay, we've got our women's championship match, but oh crap, we need to fill out this card. I got an idea. Those tag teams we got, why don't we just put them in one match? Okay, let's do that. I just felt like SmackDown has completely dropped the ball with the tag team, with every tag team on the damn roster.
Well, now as Chamber, now all 6 teams are involved. Hopefully they hit the reset button and kind of, that was a good start. We're taking the piss out of the Ascension, but that was a good start. The Ascension getting a win. Now they look a bit more credible. You got Slater and Rhino. Rhino was mega over in this. You got Alpha. You got the Usos, who I despise and want to spit on them, but that's a different story for a different time. You just rebuild this division starting from Sunday and starting from tonight, because that was a decent damn start. But Sunday to rebuild this division, and this should have been inside the Elimination Chamber. There's 6 teams. This should have been inside the Elimination Chamber. It's silly how it's not. Ridiculous. Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, you have 6 teams in a tag team turmoil match instead of inside the chamber. That needs to change.
That would have been good. Could you fit 2 guys in one pod?
They did it at the 2015 Elimination Chamber.
Okay. That's fine. As long as they could comfortably fit 2 people in there, that would work.
Of course they can. I was shocked that they didn't 6 teams. They didn't do an Elimination Chamber match. That would get them over because actually people would care about the match, not a tag team turmoil. But Talking Smack hasn't happened yet. So hopefully on Talking Smack, that 6 teams just get all chaotic and they announce this Elimination Chamber match. But I hardly doubt that. Mm-hmm. And then we had the Match of the Year candidate.
Oh, really?
I'm joking. Dude, that was a big joke.
Yeah, but to say
John Cena.
Yeah, part 709, John Cena versus Randy Orton.
No, you didn't market it right. It's big match John versus if you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, you get Randy Orton, the 2017 Royal Rumble winner, versus the WWE champion John Cena. That's how you market that bitch. That's why Mauro Ranallo isn't allowed to call it. That's why my boy Tom Phillips does it. Oh, fucking my boy Tom Phillips. I can at least now confirm that this won't be the main event for WrestleMania. That's a good thing. There's no way they'll do this on free television and give it as the main event of WrestleMania. There's no way they'll do that. No way. I'll be astonished, shocked, pissed off if that's the case. There's no way that'll be the main event of WrestleMania. You can almost confirm it now. No way. So shocked if it is. But hey ho, the match itself wasn't actually that bad. Cena got an AA near fall, or hit the Draper DDT from the top. Orton RK for 2, referee bumped, 2-on-1 attack on Cena because Bray Wyatt was ringside. Bray's sister Abigail Cena. Luke Harper comes out. They have a stare down with Bray and Luke Harper, which got a really, really great reaction from the crowd. Harper discus Larry's Bray. Orton tries to RKO Harper, but Harper pushes him into Cena, who hits the AA to get the win. Cena gets the win. He stands tall with the WWE title belt to close the show out. So I actually think it was like a 2.5-star match. It really wasn't bad. I think the booking helped it.
By the way, this has just been announced here, but it's official. Luke Harper versus Randy Orton at the Chamber, which needs to happen.
Yeah, that was announced during the Luke Harper segment.
Mm-hmm. So it's official. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's official. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Tonight it became official, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm excited for that match. I think it could be really good. I think it could be a match where I think Orton will win, but I think Harper will win in defeat because it'll be a great match. I have high expectations for that. I'm expecting at least a 3-star match on that because Randy Orton can go whether you like him or not, and Harper's an incredible talent. So I really think it will be a good match. I'm excited for the pay-per-view. Just to cap off the show here, I'm excited for the Chamber match because there's lots of different variables that could happen. You could have Bray Wyatt win, you could have AJ Styles, you could have Cena retain, you could have the shocker of Corbin, Miz, maybe Ambrose IC title match at Mania, so no. Or what they and then also and you also have the 3 singles women matches which have actually been built properly, so you got a decent division. This tag team turmoil match could be okay. Let's hope they change it into a Chamber Chamber match. Sorry. And then you also have Orton and Harper, which could be a 3-star match at least. And I'm quite excited for the Chamber pay-per-view. I'm not pumped for the Fastlane event, but I'm pumped for the Chamber pay-per-view. We'll be covering that as well live after it goes off the air. I don't know who'll be joining me. Someone will. I'll find someone. But we'll get to some live comments. Instead of sitting here like mopey dopey shits, we'll get to some live comments and see what we got going on there.
All right.
Let's see what we got. And thank you, Andy Paps, for sharing us on Facebook. Much love. What we got here? We have some live comments. Andy Paps, baby, says, Ty, nothing kept me interested. That's fair. That's fair. Booms gave it Ty too. I gave it a win. I just enjoyed it. I thought it did a decent enough job of building to the Elimination Chamber. Andy Paps says, have you guys heard all the TNA news? Booms, you sent me some links.
Yeah, the only TNA related story that I have is that Scott D'Amore is supposed to come back and be part of the creative team. He's also supposed to be like an international agent, something to that effect. But that's the only new TNA thing that I've heard.
We're getting a bit old school now. I like that. Nakamura needs to be on SmackDown. That's true. So I'm assuming when they do a draft, none of the champions will be drafted. I doubt they'll do the draft with the champions, but they've done it before. They have done it before.
Yeah, but they switched out. It's like I could see something like, maybe they would do Intercontinental US Championship switches brands. I mean, stuff like that's happened before.
Yeah, I can see that. There was a time when I'd go to CW when they were in Seattle. But that time's long gone, Andy Paps.
Mm-hmm.
That was Kevin Eric Snell. Apologies, that was Kevin Eric Snell. Andy Paps, I kind of don't want to go to Raw in March. Yeah, you see, the only reason I'm going in London for the Raw and SmackDown was because me and my girlfriend wanted to go in a vacation to London. We're going to get a hotel Monday night, Tuesday night. Why not? Why not go Raw and SmackDown? There's good food at the O2 Arena both nights. There's pubs. Be a good time, good atmosphere. Why the fuck not? Andy Paps says, W loves kissing Brooklyn's ass. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton would be great. Agreed. Miz is champion. Andy Paps likes that idea. Kevin Eric Snell says, Miz had a chance when AJ was champ. No chance if Cena has the belt. That's true. Andy Paps says, Cena needs to be the first one eliminated. Yeah, we talked about that. That was a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Eric Snell says, if they don't want Cena to lose, just book him like they used to book Shawn Michaels. Cena and Shawn Michaels is always just about to win, but they get screwed by whoever's feuding with them next. That's fair. They did used to do that with Shawn Michaels quite a lot. D-Rock says, LK, if you go to North Carolina, then you must try pulled pork sandwich.
Yes, you should. No, the genuine stuff, LK, not like the crap you get from like Hardee's or the stuff that comes in the package. No, you got to go to a barbecue restaurant, go sit down and have your plate.
The Jangles clan says, LK, I'm getting fucked in the butt. I loved every millisecond of it. I've never been fucked in the arse. Apologies. Andy Paps says, is it time to repackage Bray if he doesn't win the W Championship? No, I like the character. It's on SmackDown. I think it works better than when they had the both. I think it is quite kind of working on SmackDown, especially with the Orton stuff. I think it is quite good at the minute. Chauncey Bullock says, Brother Booms, I knew you'd come, and hashtag beat up Trump. Kevin Eric Snell says, Nikki constantly talking about Cena and her feuds is stupid because Cena's on the same show and never mentions her. That is actually a really good point. Louis Dillard says, Boom Boom is the love doctor. Chauncey Bullock says, I'm a Nikki Bella guy. Someone's got to be. Chauncey Bullock and sometime a John Cena guy. Big Match John. Danny Bolton 23, 205 Live this week is actually very good. I'm going to be a little bitch right now and say the only way you can get access, I'm going to do a W special. The only way you'll be able to get access to our 205 Live review every single week is by becoming a Patreon pledger for as little as $1 per month. Apologies, had to say it. Kevin Eric Snell says the Moonshiners could be a tag team, like a cross between the Moondogs and the Shining Stars. Set to fail from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Chauncey D-Rock says they should have just done the Women's Elimination Chamber. You know what? They could have done that as well. They could have done the Women's Elimination Chamber because it's 6. They could have done the Tag Team Elimination Chamber, and they could have done the W Title Elimination Chamber. That would take two hours up, and then you could do Orton versus Harper, Dolph Ziggler versus Cruz and Kalisto. That's your pay-per-view card. Chauncey Bullock says, why WWE Cruiserweight's not on SmackDown Live? Good point. Kevin X. Snells, when nothing's going on with the tag team division, you got time to fill. The answer is tag title match and number 1 contenders match. Time filled. Andy Pap says DIY and the Revival need to come to SmackDown. Maybe.
I'm thinking that's going to happen sooner rather than later. Now I know in the list of talent that were potentially to be called up, the Revival was not on that list. However, DIY was.
Fair. Chancey Bullock says hashtag beat up Boom's wife. Boom, do not tell your wife. Or hashtag beat up LK girlfriend. LK, do not tell your girl. Wow. Chancey Bullock says hashtag beat up Luke Harper. And then he says, LK and Booms, can I join Kocosports? I'm going to say the same thing to every single person who was ever asked to join the staff. A, talk to Dave on Facebook or something. Or B, if you send me a link to a video that you've done, like for instance, I've got loads of MMA guys. I'm doing podcasts with MMA hardcore fans or expert like what we do, but they do it for MMA so that I can gain the knowledge that they have. But they promote what they have. So, for example, I had the MMA Takeover.com on a last week. He came on, he promoted his stuff, and he did the show. If you have your own podcast or if you have your own website and you want to talk pro wrestling, send me a link to stuff you've done. Make sure you're 18 or over and know that you will not get paid. That's the criteria. So Chancey Bullock, if you have content, send it to me on Twitter. I literally sent you a Twitter message because you commented on my MMA show I just did. And I didn't do live comments because we didn't have enough time. But just send me something on Twitter of some of your work. But we just can't have people who haven't done anything beyond because it's just Dave's rules. It's not my rules, it's Dave's rules. And he's always had them. Like, it took me how damn long, Booms, to get full-time Kocosports?
It took some time.
How long have I've known you about a year and a half, and from that time I went from the site that's now shut because I carried that on my back to the point where I felt fuck you guys, fuck you. So actually I love those guys. That's a lie. I actually really did like them people, and it's a different story for a different time. So I left them, came to kind of joined you guys, but I had my own stuff going on. I had my own YouTube channel going on, which was nothing. I just did reviews of shows. And then I became a regular co-host, a co-host, and then a kind of semi-regular, then a very regular. And then it was, I got a chance to do my own shows, but I couldn't be live. I had to send it to Dave. And then I got my own live shows. And then it was, there you go. And I can actually finally do the site. And it just takes a lot of damn time. And you have to work harder than a Pensacola stripper, believe it or not. Because it's not just come on here and dispute the shit and close. You have to make sure the title, the description, the tags, the logo has to be created. And then you have to upload that on Kocosports.net, make sure the right title, make sure the right logo on that, make sure the right description. And then you got to do the news and you have to find it, upload it, make sure it's in your own words, promote it, tweet it, Facebook it. It's a lot of damn time. It's not as easy as you chumps think. But, Booms, any comments for the live comments?
Oh, no. Thank you guys for joining us very much. Let's see here. Be sure to check us out, Kocosports.com. It's your home for combat sports. It's where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. You also take two. You can also follow, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We've got all kinds of shows coming out. New Japan actually did a show today. As soon as I get some time, I'm going to watch that show.
Don't watch it, Booms. It's a house show. It's a W house show. It's like a New Japan house show. Their next pay-per-view is Saturday. But if you watched it tomorrow we have Wrestle AM, did you watch the New Beginning show that aired on Saturday?
This week? Oh, the weekend? Yes, I did watch that.
Yeah. We can I already did we recapped it on Monday, but we can do another mini recap after NXT. We could just talk about what was your favorite matches and contrast notes. Mm-hmm. And then maybe we can do a preview of Saturday's New Beginning show as well as our NXT review. And also, is this NXT review, would it be live after NXT airs or 1 hour after NXT airs?
I believe it's going to be 1 hour after NXT airs.
Okay, that's good, because then what's going to happen is, after NXT airs live, we'll be here for MMA AM. 1 hour after NXT airs, we'll be here with Wrestle AM, and then we can all go to bed. What a magical day we have tomorrow. What a magical day. But yeah, Booms is showing why you're the best salesman in the business. You're at Kocosports.net, shows coming left, right, and center.
Exactly, man. So be sure to check us out. So thank you for joining us. And this is Booms for LK saying the boom just went bang, and I am